Futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 5th, about 6 a.m. Central Time. Overnight, the precious metals are higher after yesterday's explosive session. You have April gold up $6 at 21.32. May silver up 20 cents, 24.20. May copper slightly higher at 3.86. April platinum down $13 at 8.90. And then finally June palladium down $17 at 9.55. So really over the past 5 days, it was Thursday's close is really when we seen this precious metals rally take off. Now something coincidentally was, if you look at the close on Thursday, New York Bancorp down 38% over about the last 5 days. If you rewind back into 2023, into the spring when you saw Signature Bank really collapse, we saw gold futures rally about $175 within about 8 trading days. Silver went up about $3-4 during that same time period. So there was a lot of concerns about regional banks, and the failures could be the catalyst that pulls forward that first Fed interest rate cut. Now, if you look at the dollar index, not really had any kind of volatility over the last couple days, and the same thing with the 2-year yields. They've really essentially just drifted higher. You look at the Fed, that interest rate cut for May, 23%, and then June about 65%. Looking at Bitcoin here, $69,595 for the March contract overnight. So that is a new all-time high on the futures contract. And really the question is it cannibalizing the demand for those precious metals? Well, we at Blue Line Futures believe that you should have a blended approach to both that includes both physical and digital assets. It makes the most sense given not only hedging against purchasing power diminishing returns, but also essentially could be a tailwind for easier monetary policy going forward once the Federal Reserve does cut rates. We will have Super Tuesday today, so you're going to have 16 states will hold Republican and Democratic preliminaries here for the election going forward. Now, some other things we're going to be watching here. 8:45 Central Time, you'll have S&P Global U.S. Services PMI. At 9 a.m., you'll have factory orders, durable goods, core capital goods, the ISM Services Index. That's going to be the one really to watch here. We anticipate that ISM Services Index falls about 0.8 points to 52.6 in February, so down slightly from the consensus, which is right around 53. And then around 11 a.m., you'll have Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision Barr will speak. All the fireworks are really going to come tomorrow. That's when you're going to have a lot more information coming out as far as what Jerome Powell, when he has a 2-day testimony, and then also you'll have more economic data coming out. So expect a little bit of drifting here today. I don't anticipate a lot of volatility in the markets whatsoever here unless we get this big sell-off in the equities, which equities are starting to show some signs, some cracks here. We've got Apple down again in the overnight session as they do anticipate those iPhone sales really come down in China. China did come and make some adjustments here to where they want their growth at, and they've really got their growth anchored quite well. They don't really see much need for a lot more stimulus in those markets. However, I am suspicious that I do think that if a crack does develop over there, that they will implement stimulus measures. Now, getting into the woodwork here on the gold market, looking at the charts here, and then also on silver, kind of that first major key support on gold, psychologically $2,100. I think that is definitely going to be something where if we drop below it, you'll see a bit of panic in the markets. Your critical level below that, way down at 2055, that's the 50-day moving average. And then the line in the sand for me is going to be 2024. We close below there. It's going to look really ugly here on the chart. So 2024 line in the sand, about $100 lower. As fast as we go up here, taking the stairs up, remember we take the elevator straight down on these markets. Silver, your critical level support, 200-day moving average, 2402. I think that it'll try and defend that level initially. The first line of support that I'm going to be looking at, 2384. If I was going to, you had a gun to my head and I had to buy something like silver, my stop loss would be just below that level there, 2384. 50-day moving average, and also the critical line in the sand, 23.32 and 23.28. That's the level where we get below there. You got to go back to neutral on both the trends here. So keep an eye on these markets here. You got any questions, reach out to me. Do like platinum down at these lower levels here at 890. They should be trying to keep up with some of the other metals here, although the weakness in China will have a little bit of a weigh-in on that platinum market. You got any questions? Again, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures option trading does involve risk of loss. May not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.